because we're fully committed to this. In that each season, as you go throughout, there's a common theme that I see with the most successful people and also most fulfilled, is that they continuously commit fully to the thing and the season and the place that they're at.
Hello and welcome to the Remarkable CEO Podcast, a show dedicated to chiropractors who want to transform their job into a business so that they can have a remarkable practice as part of a remarkable life, not instead of one. With your hosts, Dr. Pete Camiolo and Dr. Stephen Franson.
Welcome to another episode of the Remarkable CEO Podcast. I'm Dr. Pete Camiolo.
And I'm Dr. Stephen Franson.
And this is not just another episode. This is the first episode of 2023. Hey, welcome to 2023. Hey, everyone, congratulations. You made it. We are now into the third year of the 2020s. I know that when we all came into this decade, we thought, man, this is going to be the roaring 20s. And guess what? It absolutely has been. What a last 3 years we've had, 2020, 2021, 2022. And now here we are in 2023. And as you know, we have a theme every year in the Remarkable Practice. Remarkable CEO Podcast embraces that wholeheartedly. And every year we release that theme. And Dr. Stephen, one of the things that I love about our theme is that each year, the theme that we have set tends to be the exact right theme and energy for the entire year. We've got 3 years of themes that we can talk to you about. We're going to do that. But today is our theme for 2023. Dr. Stephen, super pumped to dig in with you today. Hey, Happy New Year. It's great to be together. Ready for a great year, my friend.
Happy New Year, Dr. Pete, and to everyone that's listening. Super excited for a giant year ahead. Man, we're just coming off the heels of an awesome year. 2022 was crazy, but it was crazy good. What a blessed year. It was extraordinary, and I expect the same for 2023, even better. I love the tradition of setting a theme for the year. It's a codifying spirit, right, for the year, and it just gets everybody focused. And, we all know focus is what makes the difference between busyness and productivity, and we all want a more productive 2023. This theme will absolutely ensure that your team comes together, right? So that's the spirit behind this theme. As we gather our teams, we gather our communities, we gather our tribe, we get everybody back together after what feels like a season of scattering, Pete. And it's like, I think God just put this word on my heart, and you and I had this conversation earlier, and we were both like, yes, and we had sort of arrived at the same place like we do every year. I really do think it gets spoken into us on this, and it's wildly appropriate for where we are. The timing is right for a theme that's this big, right? And it's a word that I think that's going to come with so much fruit, right? So it's going to accomplish so many things, not just, a rallying call for everybody on your team to come around, but really to like bring a consciousness and make what we want to do this year really actionable, right? So this year, it's an incredibly strong word. And frankly, I'm full on, all in around it, as they say. The word for 2023 is commitment.
So, Dr. Stephen, I can vouch for you that I already know that you are all in. I know that you are fully committed. You have hedged all your bets on what we're doing on this, and you have pushed all your chips in. You have like in the Bible, you have sold everything to buy the field that you found the treasure. You are all in, and it's awesome to work with people like you that are all in. It's incredible to journey with you, and I'm committed as well. I am all in, fully in. As far in as you can go. I know I can be at this stage. So I'm excited for this because I know that for me, when I reflect on the decisions that I make, when I think about myself in my journey, and I'm sure as you think about your journey, I think one of the things that hallmarks that sets apart good from great, the things that really make a difference and move the needle, whether it's in your relationships or in your business, your life, your commitment to your health, whatever it might be, it's when you go all in, when you're fully committed, that always leads to the greatest results. That always creates the greatest change, and it's always the most fulfilling. I've never regretted in my life, as I reflect back, I've never regretted a full commitment. I've never regretted that. Even if at the end of the, call it relationship, didn't end maybe the way that I started thinking it was going to go. Never have regretted a full commitment in my life, whether it was a commitment to a wad, it was a commitment to making a meal, small stuff, or, a commitment to the work. It's as I reflect back on, and I know as you reflect on your journey, whether it was when you started the window cleaning business, when you were in it, you were in it. When you were in school, you were in it. When you were in the Gonstead, learning the Gonstead technique when you're in school, we're moving places. We're literally sleeping on couches and floors. Why? Because we're fully committed to this. In each season, as you go throughout, there's a common theme that I see with the most successful people and also most fulfilled, is that they continuously commit fully to the thing and the season and the place that they're at in their business or in their life. And that, my friends, is what this is about to me. It's about all the juice that you could squeeze out, we get when we are fully committed. And so our theme, I know, Dr. Stephen, we just discussed this. We're going to get into it now. What does that look like? It's all about commitment. This is the year of commitment. It's the year to be all in.
What a powerful observation, Pete, to put it that way. Is like you look in your history, you have no regrets, right? When you had put yourself on the line, when you were all in and fully committed, you can't think of any instance where you regretted that. Conversely, looking back in our history, think of those times when you dabbled. Think when you were kind of hedging, and you just, you're kind of in, but not fully in. We all know this is a spirit. This is a heart condition, right? So this is, how do I show up? Am I all in or not, right? Am I fully committed or not? I'm jumping on a plane to go to Puerto Rico tomorrow to catch some waves. There's a great swell coming in. I'm going to head down there and see our great friend, Dr. Sebastian Bonner, Coach Sebastian. We're going to get some waves, and looks like we got some real waves. And I guess I'm talking to myself right now, because one thing in surfing is if you're going to turn around and you're going to paddle off to catch a wave, you better be committed, right? So you better be all in, because there's going to be a moment where you cross a line where you're going, no matter what, you're going. The question is, did you catch the wave or did the wave catch you? And that is just how you have to address your life. You have got to be all in and get after it. When you pick that thing out, you turn and you paddle head down and you dig and you get after it like you want it, right? So, and everybody knows the difference. So whether you're talking about a relationship, you're talking about your marriage, if you're talking about your parenting, if you're talking about your spiritual walk, if you're talking about your giving, if you're talking about, your friendships, right? So when you talk about partnerships and your business leadership, when you talk about the care that you're delivering, adjusting people, like it's all in. You don't go halfway on anything, man. It's full commitment, Dr. Pete. We know that that's where all the fruit is, right? Is to get out there on that limb and get after it. And something tells me that 2023 and the years ahead are going to call for just that. There will be no dabblers out there that are successful. There'll be no dabbling. The success will be reserved for the people that are fully committed.
So Dr. Stephen, let's talk very practically then. So as you're listening to this and you're considering this theme that we're sharing with you, and you consider embracing it for yourself, adopting it for your practice, your business, we encourage you to do that. That's what we love about this, is that we're journeying with you. We're in this together. So we're fully committed to you. We are thrilled because we're in this new year. We have a whole nother year of journeying together here in 2023. So when you think about this, let's ask this question: commitment to what? Okay. So if I said to you, are you all in? Are you committed? Then you should ask me, committed to what? Right? That'd be a good question to ask. Yeah, exactly. So what are we committing to? So Dr. Stephen, we've talked about a few things that we want to get into today. So I'm just going to kind of make a list and we're going to go into it. Okay. So,
yeah, let's go high level first. It's what a great framework for this conversation.
Yeah. So I go right back to whenever we talk about, solving any problem, anytime we're troubleshooting anything in our business or in your life, you always got to start with, what's the vision? Is there clarity on what the vision is? Is there clarity on what success looks like? And the first thing would be, what is the commitment that you're asking of me? And the commitment would be directly connected to and then proportional to the vision and what success looks like. And the question is, are you committed, fully committed to the vision of 2023? Are you fully committed to the vision? This is what I see. We did the vision story exercise, and you remember that the question we ask is, what does success look like? 1 year from now, close your eyes. What would have had to happen for this to be the year that you want it to be? What would have to happen for this, for you to look back a year and say, you know what? This year exceeded even my expectation, but this was the vision we set out and we achieved it. Are you committed to that vision? How committed are you to that? Even just 1 year vision, not even thinking 3 years, just between now and next. Are you committed? And what is your commitment to that? So, Dr. Stephen, we have to start with the vision. We have to look at your purpose. We have to look at your mission. We have to look at the team. We have to look through this lens, but we have to start always with vision.
And if you look at what vision is, like if you've been traveling with us, which I just want to recognize and appreciate everybody that's, it's what a privilege that we get to come alongside you guys in this journey. If you've been along this journey with us all along, you understand what a vision story is, right? It's a vision story is what does success look like to you? And it should be an expression of your core values, right? So when you have a vision story that is a genuine and authentic expression of your core values, the core values of your business, of your practice, right? So those core values are, they're shaped from your purpose, right? So is your purpose is like, what is the reason this practice even exists? Like, what is your why? Why must we succeed here? Your purpose is, why do we exist as a business and why must this vision manifest, right? So your mission is, how do we serve our purpose and manifest our vision story, right? So how committed are you to your core values, to your purpose statement, to your mission, to this vision story? Because guess what? That's where it starts. That's table stakes, right? You've got to be super clear in your mind. It's like, listen, I am fully committed to making this manifest. And then you've got to be able to convey that vision story into that team. And your team's commitment is going to be a reflection of that. They're going to pick right up on that. They're going to know exactly how committed you are, which is why, Dr. Pete, we always say that your team is actually a reflection of your commitment, right? They're going to pick up on that. And there's nothing that's more contagious than somebody who is on fire for their purpose and for their vision.
I think as leaders, it's important because, and maybe this has happened to you, but sometimes you can get fatigued, you can get tired. And I love the quote where it says, wherever your vision decreases, fatigue increases. So if you find yourself growing weary, if you find yourself growing fatigued, check your vision. Because anytime you lose the sight, you lose the perspective, you lose your vision, okay? You lose clarity there, you'll see fatigue increases. So this is a good litmus test for yourself. Says, hey, we're coming into this new year. We pushed really hard in December. We pushed really hard in 2022. We've been going and going and going. But if you've lost your vision, you maintain your energy. Your energy stays up. And so if you evaluated right now, where's your energy at coming into 2022? You think, man, my energy's through the roof. But some of you, maybe we're talking to you and you're like, man, I'm crawling in. I'm just scraping into 2023. I'm talking to you because I want you to know that if you feel that way, check your vision. Because as your vision decreases, fatigue increases. And as your vision increases, you'll see your energy goes up, your fatigue goes down. I'm not saying don't take a nap, Doc Stephen. I'm not saying take care of yourself, set your alarm and wake up when you're supposed to and go to bed a little bit earlier. I'm saying that the energy to your purpose, the energy to the mission, the energy to actually build that team that to continue to empower and equip and develop that team, to continue to do the innovations and make the pivots that you need to continue to reach the market through your marketing. And the list goes on. If you've lost your sight of your vision, you'll grow fatigue in those areas. So we must have clarity of the vision, and then the vision then gets translated through the domains of your business, through the primary functions of your business. And I can measure it in the energy that you have and the energy that your team has in that direction. So it's a really good time to even recheck yourself. Where's your vision? where's your energy?
So, that's a hard issue from the very beginning, right? So when you're checking yourself on, do I have my vision in place? Am I fully committed to it? That's going to be your why, which is a heart issue. And now we can move into a head issue, because you said it, you have to then be able to measure it, right? So this is where we set our goals. And goals is such a critical part of vision casting, because we move from our heart to our head, because we have to know, what are the milestones? What is the path? And we've got to be able to check ourselves to make sure that we are on track or off track as we go. So we have to quantify this. We have to create objective measurables as we go. So, when you set your goals, make sure that you are very honest with the goals that you're setting, right? So how committed are you to your goals and achieving your goals? Don't be haphazard here, right? So you're setting those mile markers in place. You've got a second point on the GPS system called your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal, which is, this is where we're going in 2023. This is our destination. And these are the mile markers along the way. So when you're setting those goals, those goals, you got to make sure that you are fully committed to those goals. Don't just put down what you think, I'm pulling it out of thin air, and I'm either going to be undershooting or way overshooting. I'm being ridiculous. You've got to be able to arrive at goals that you're like, man, we are fully committed to these goals. Like, I know that we're going to need to invest to hit these goals. I know that I'm going to have to invest, time, energy, focus, and money. Everybody on this team is going to need to invest in order for us to reach those goals. Are you committed? Have you committed the budget? Have you committed the money, right? So is it in your budget for the year in your strategic plan? Have you said, I'm going to invest these dollars to get there? I'm committed. I have committed these monies. They're earmarked to be allocated towards the investment of our mission and growing this business. Have you committed? Have you committed your time? If I were to look at your calendar for 2023, would I see the meeting rhythms scheduled out in your book with your quarterly board meetings and your monthly marketing meetings and your weekly team meetings and your daily huddles? Is that apparent? Would I see that on your calendar? Have you committed your time, which is much more importantly interpreted as you've committed your focus and your team's focus, right? Have you made the commitments that will predictably manifest your vision for 2023?
I mean, Doc, this is we're casting vision where we're setting a theme, but you can clearly see we're very quickly getting to work, so this is meant to be, this is a podcast. This is meant to hopefully stir the pot a bit. So get those creative juices going, get your heart going, get your mind going. So we come to the beginning of the new year. If you haven't already done this, if you haven't done your annual board meeting, if you haven't sat down with your team and set out the vision, recast the vision, reset the goals, if you haven't done that, then and you're listening to this and it's still early in the year, then do it now. Right now is the time. It's absolutely critical that that as the CEO of your business, one of the objectives on your scorecard is that you are casting vision. And what we teach in our here on this podcast and in our Remarkable CEO program is that we teach the appear process. That if you want to manifest your vision, right, then do it through the appear process. So deploy that process. It's a very specific strategy to help you. So if you're running into a blind spot, if you're being challenged in this in any way, and you're feeling like you're hitting against some wall, you're not sure how to break through, the first thing you do is you assess, okay? So you assess, where have we come from, right? What has happened? Let's do some brutal facts here. Let's really be clear about, because if we don't do an assessment, then we are moving forward without having full insight. So that's not wise. Wisdom is the ability to take information, experiences in, and then apply them in action, taking action. So we want to be wise with our vision casting. We want to be wise with our goal setting. Like Dr. Stephen, you said, you're not haphazardly just setting goals. You're setting goals that are intelligent, that we believe we can fully commit to. Because there's nothing worse than a half-ass commitment to a goal because we didn't do a thorough assessment, because we're not using intelligent data to actually apply. So let's be wise in our vision casting, our goal setting, and our distribution of the resources, the limited resources of budget and time and team. And we have to be mindful of these. As the leader of the organization, it comes back to you and your ability. So we want to make sure we're thorough and diligent in our assessment of the organization and of the team, and do an audit using that accountability grid, as we discussed on a few of the previous podcasts at the end of 2022. Do that work. That'll help you prepare and help you with, if you're running into some struggles or challenges with vision casting and goal setting and recruiting the team and recruiting yourself to get there, to go, right? I just encourage you, Dr. Stephen, that that appear process is beautiful because it's assessed, which then would lead to be able to more successfully plan, which is laying it out, making it plain, write it down, right? And then preparing, which is really assigning that accountability and making sure that everybody's crystal clear on what's important now and next. We prepare for it. And then we get to work. That's execute, man. But I don't want to execute if I don't know what's expected of me and I don't have clear expectations and I haven't agreed to that. I can go to work, but that's not smart. So making sure that you follow that exact pathway, like you plan, then you prepare, then you execute, and then you know what you do? You reassess. You assess that process and you repeat this. That's if you're looking to break through in this area, this might be the time. If you've never embraced that wholeheartedly and deployed that exact framework, Dr. Stephen, I found it to be so helpful for our CEOs, for myself, for us in breaking through.
It's huge. I just keep going back to the comment that you made around you looking back in your life. You can't think of a time when you had regrets for when you went all in. I mean, it's such a powerful truth. I mean, it just really resonated with me when you said it. And I think that this is a time to take pause and just ask yourself, where in your life, where in your practice, where in your business this past year, or maybe just finding yourself here today, where are you not all in? Like, you know it better than anyone, right? So when you look across the landscape of your business, if you look across your marketing, whether it's your internal or external or digital marketing and lead generation, where have you just been dabbling? Like, where have you not been fully committed, right? So when it comes to your conversion process, you've got people that are raising their hand, they're coming into your practice and they're looking for help, and they're just hoping that you are the solution, right? They're a seeker they're actively looking for help, and they just took the hardest step, which is walking into a strange place full of strange people doing strange things. They've just done the hardest thing, and what they want is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Are you committed to that? I mean, are you all in? Like, when you're doing that day 1, day 2, day 3 process, and you are connecting with that human being and showing them a better way to better health and helping them understand and own their problem, their path, the plan, right? So do they take full ownership over their goals and their objectives? Are you all in? Do you stay in it with them and make sure that they have a strong start? Or are you dabbling there, right? And when it comes to your retention, is your retention struggling because you have been tolerating weak starts because you haven't been all in, right? So retention begins at conversion. It begins with strong starts, right? So have you been all in setting expectations and agreements with your patients from the beginning, doing the hard easy, doing that slow down to speed up, and leaning in when it's hard, when it's a new relationship, when you think you were trying to strike up rapport. They don't want to be your buddy. They don't want to be your friend. They want you to be their doctor. They want you to be a leader. Right? They need a Sherpa, right? So are you setting up that relationship for success on the granite of expectations and agreements from leadership? How are you doing with your patient education? Is it consistent? Is it honest? Is it compelling? Is it challenging? Are you challenging and shaping people's belief system, or have you just been dabbling? Have you kept it superficial and lighthearted? And you've concerned more about what they feel about you than what they feel about the truth? Have you been keeping consistent with your table talk and your progress exams and progress reports? Have you been delivering the Better Results Faster workshop? Have you been delivering the truth, the message? Have you been committed to making sure that everyone is there and that they're hearing the message they need to hear to change the trajectory of their lives and their families' lives? Are you committed? Have you been committed to that? How are you on that re-sign process where dealing with the good, the bad, and the ugly? Have you been calling it like it is and challenging people and taking that opportunity, that collision, to hold people accountable to their commitments, to step in and be the leader that they're paying you to? Remember, they hire you for your expertise, but they're paying you for accountability. Are you committed to that? Are you committed to changing behaviors so that you can change outcomes? Where have you been thin? Where have you been scratching the surface, staying comfortable? Is it with your team? Your team's a reflection of your commitment. So when you look around your team, are you frustrated? Are you like, man, I can't find A players? Or if I do find A players, they don't stay. So how committed have you been to creating that tribe? And that tribe starts with the core of your team. How have you been? Have you been committed to being a leader, setting clear expectations and agreements, creating a compelling environment where people are better off with you than without you, and creating a culture where you're all together living out the core values of your business? How committed are you? And how committed is your team to that mission? And your finances are going to be a reflection of all the above. That's just the fruit. Money follows value, and the value is that all the value that you're delivering can be found in those previous 4 categories. That's how you make a difference in your community, and that's the value that we bring and the unique success proposition that we bring to our community. So, Doc, we're going to leave you with this. The theme of the year is commitment for 2023. And you got to ask yourself, what would happen if you went all in? Hey, Doc, let's face it, 95% of your problems are people problems. Can't find A players, can't keep A players, don't know how to leverage your team, create expectations and agreements, or hold people accountable in order to optimize your team. Doc, what would happen to your practice if you were finally able to get the right people in the right seats, doing the right work the right way? For most chiropractors, it would change everything. You'd increase your capacity to see more people. You'd make a bigger impact and a bigger income. You'd be able to delegate and scale your business. Or maybe you need to get your associate-doctor relationship dialed in. That would mean you getting your time freedom back. You could get a handle on your schedule, maybe even become a CEO. If this is what you want your 2023 to sound like, make sure that you join us for the remarkable team building immersion in Dallas, Texas, February 4th and 5th, or in Brisbane, Australia, February 24th and 25th. Man, I'm psyched to be back in Australia. Doc, bring your team with you. Get everyone on the same page. They'll be back in your office on Monday with more clarity, accountability, and purpose than ever before. Energize and mobilize your team and see your practice grow. What are your goals for 2023, Doc? Is it a 7-figure foundation, or a 7-figure revenue, or 7-figure profit, or maybe even a 7-figure exit? Regardless of what season you're in, you'll need a 7-figure team. Click the link in the show notes and register today.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Remarkable CEO Podcast. Remember, what the world needs now is chiropractic, and what chiropractic needs now is more successful chiropractors. If you like this podcast, please subscribe, share with a friend, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with us personally, direct message us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Now go and be remarkable.